What's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? What's up, Optimus, Gervais, Ginger? Welcome. End of the day, absolute ripper. So looks very bullish right now. Let's go into SPY right off the bat. Yesterday, you seen what kind of action was coming off. I do believe there was so many puts on last week because of the Fed and because of COVID and all this kind of stuff. I got you, Ginger. What's up, Andrew? Amazing day at My Stock Life. Boogie, Ricky, they're crushing SPX. There's a bunch of trades called out. Pav killed Tesla. T killed a bunch of trades as well. And just fantastic day all around. What's up, Arden, Andrew? Platinum Sachs with the Amazon call out this morning was crazy as well. So SPY, we went over the scenario yesterday, but it's different. Why is it different? Because last time when we gapped down, it took 4 or 5 days to get to the bounce top, which was also around the moving averages, right? You guys see the 50 days here, the 21 day here, the 8 day here. So they were all tangled up and it created a lot of resistance. And then we dumped and we made a lower low. This time in just 3 days, so just 2 days after, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and struggled at the moving averages and then rolled over and made new lows. This time, just 2 days after the low was put in, we're just absolutely ripping. What's up, Ricky, Brandon, Kritik? And we just absolutely ripped. We were watching this channel in SPY all day, right from the morning. It was very clear what they were doing. They were just very clear uptrend. Just respected the bottom every time on the hourly, respected the top of the channel every time, and we're not even close to the top of the channel yet, guys. So you can draw this different as well. Like that would probably be a little bit better now since we do have that high. So around here on the hourly, we can go all the way to 470, guys. We can even go back to all-time highs. But the thing I'm seeing here right now is 3 straight green days, big green days on SPY. Declining volume, obviously. I told you guys, so near a bottom, there's usually higher volume. That's called capitulation. That usually marks the bottom. So what happens is back here in September, October, you see this huge volume here. That marked the bottom basically. So over here, huge volume. You see these 4 or 5 days, huge volume. That usually marks the bottom, capitulation. But we did go right back up when the volume started falling off and we started melting up again. So the same thing I think is happening right here. You guys see this massive volume right here on the bottom. And now volume's starting to go down. That's just called a melt up. It usually, volume falls off during a melt up, as you guys see here. So the bottom marks a huge bottom and then just low volume melt up almost every single time. So you can go over historically SPY chart. You'll see the same thing. What's up, Maddie? And right now we're very close to all-time highs. All-time highs at 471.21, I believe. 471.88 was actual all-time high, but the highest close ever was around there as well, around 470. So we're almost at all-time highs here. Again, we need another 3-4 point move, and that's what we're watching. A very strong close. There's no reason to get bearish here yet, in my opinion. The VIX fell off a cliff. Everything it's under 20, so let's see what tomorrow brings, and let's see if we rally straight into the end of the year. After hours, SPY is even taking out the high of the day, so it's good to see. QQQ leading the way. Obviously, tech got destroyed this last week or two, and now it's leading the way back up. But we're not even close to all-time highs on QQQ. So SPY is close. That's because financials have been strong. But where QQQ is concerned, if you see financials have 2 strong green days as well. But QQQ, we're not even close to all-time highs. All-time highs is all the way up at 408.19, and we're trading about 18 points below that. So QQQ, long way to go, but tech does look strong, and this weekly channel is still being respected on QQQ. If you guys watch here from all the way from August, we've just been on this steady uptrend on the weekly, and we did almost touch the bottom of the channel here, and now we're making our way back up. If we fill this channel, we should be looking at a move to all-time highs. So let's see if we get bullish follow through tomorrow. XLF, there's a very clear resistance line here. It would hit around 39.40, 39.50 area. Let's get rid of this. This is old. So when XLF gets back, draw this line on your daily chart on XLF. When it comes back to this line, that means financials. You have to be very careful when it gets back to this line. Other than that, it's bullish. Everything's bouncing great. This was a very clear island reversal. So what that means is big gap down. everyone bought the dip and then they reverse it up, and it's the same pattern on almost all these charts. So SPY, same thing, big gap down, they bought the dip and then 3 straight strong days up. QQQ, same story. So IWM also, I told you guys something yesterday. If the market does roar into the end of the year or rip bullish, whatever you guys want to call it, IWM usually moves the most. If you guys look at this move from here, 208.76, so let's call it 209 bottom, and today we're already at 220 plus. It's $11 move on IWM, whereas SPY bottomed at 451 and now we're trading at 467. So IWM might give you the best returns into the end of the year if you believe that we're just going to rip into the end of the year. I think IWM gives you the best returns. But again, this one has a lot of overhead here. IWM has a 200-day and the 50-day above it, whereas SPY and QQQ have it below. So let's see what happens into the end of the year here. IWM does look very, very strong. Same thing, volume's falling off, but that's normal for a melt up. The volume usually does fall off. ES just breaking through level after level after level. So we had 46.50 straight through it. Retested it, came back up. 4665 was my yellow line. That was a major support I had from, I think it was like a pre-market or something one day. I just seen a lot of buyers and sellers there. So 4650, I put it in different colors, major support and resistance. Obviously we ripped right through there the first time we tried it. We kind of ranged in there between 4680 and 4665, came back down. This is where I took my SPY calls. Why did I take them? This was a very, very obvious fake out to me. Why? Because I was watching a bunch of other charts. When ES dipped below my 46.65, I seen other charts. They were holding either completely sideways or they were moving up. None of them were breaking. So that told me this is a fake breakdown on ES. I jumped in SPY calls right here. I think I sold them around here. Obviously, if I held them, they would have been like 400% by the end of the day. But it's the same day, you guys. On same day trades, you got to be a lot more careful because one little dip here, one little sideways here would have just crushed the premium on those calls. So I took them off. Good gains. I was happy with it. And rest of that, you can't really, nobody told you that this was going to happen end of day. I told you Tesla might rip end of day. Amazon has a move coming end of day. That's just because of ES was so solid here. Bitcoin holding above right now. We have that falling wedge breakout. I did jump back into some Bitcoin. I'm not 100% invested yet. It's still kind of tricky, but I do think that Bitcoin has a run coming now just because the market's so much better. Remember, I got out of Bitcoin at 60. Why did I get out? Because the market showed super weakness, and I got back in around 40, 47. So, I mean, why hold through that 13K dip if you don't have to? That's why we do technical trading in the first place, is so that we can try to avoid these drawdowns and get in near the bottom again. So falling wedge breakout, this is the exact same pattern I bought over here at 30, the exact same pattern I bought over here at around 30. This one was 30, this one was like 40 something. So it's almost the same pattern always in Bitcoin. Like it tops out and then we sold it here. I called the top here on a podcast. Bought it back down here, caught that rip, bought it back through here, I think, and then we sold it around 60, and now we're back in around 47. So nothing wrong with the Bitcoin chart here. It's just kind of playing tag with the 200-day. I said the sellers might be drying up. They didn't have enough power to break under the 200-day with force. So we broke up, and now let's see if we come down and retest this wedge and then fly, or are they just going to rip it straight? The 221-day is at 49,697. So 49,700, if BTC closes above that, we should be ripping into the end of the year, in my opinion. VIX off a cliff, completely off a cliff, back under 20. Whoa. So it's back under 20. We're just kind of back into this base area here after a big spike. Again, usually it gets a big spike and then it rolls over for a while, right? That's what's been happening. That's the pattern of the VIX. Big spike, sell off, big spike, sell off, big spike, sell off. And what happens usually is when it has a big spike like this, the next one is just a little one, and then it just kind of compresses for a while the market melts up. So that's what we're seeing here. We had that huge spike on the Fed and COVID and all that fears, and now we came back down. Now, is this the small spike, and now do we just go sideways? That's one thing to watch on the VIX as well, on the daily especially. Uber, we just hit our third roll up. I sold it all today. Why did I sell it? Obviously, you got to be happy with this kind of move off the bottom, right? So we had a little W bottom, little double bottom, whatever you guys want to call it. We're in a very clear range here. I think I seen it on the weekly. I had it drawn maybe. Yeah, so I just had this weekly channel drawn here. We're at the bottom of the channel. I took my first calls at the bottom, or near the bottom of the channel. We got like a 3, 6, 7 days straight up in a line on Uber. I'm just seeing it way too far away from the 8-day moving average. Until yesterday, we were right on top of the moving average. Today, we did leave a big gap here. So the 8-day moving average is at $40 and we closed today at 43. That's a big gap. So I sold the rest of my calls. We did close above 50-day. We are still ripping. Everything looks great for continuation. But if I get a couple days of consolidation back down to the 8-day, I'll do my fourth roll up. I mean, it's for free anyways. So that's all I see on Uber. I see a couple days consolidation, hopefully for a better setup now. MRK on the daily. So they have a COVID pill that's releasing soon. The government's about to buy 3 million doses from them. They just need approval. And right now, I think Ricky and T caught it exactly off this bottom. Great play. They got a big percentage, and now it's just kind of bull flagging here. So we have a catalyst, we have a bull flag, and the chart doesn't look that bad. So I jumped in yesterday. I'm holding those for now. We got next week's. I do expect the approval to come within the next week. That's what the news said in the first place. Obviously, after hours got crushed after that nice close. But let's see where we open up tomorrow. Let's see if we get that FDA approval and a little spike to sell our calls. Other than that, it's still bullish. I mean, I don't see anything bearish on this chart. If you want to read the news or whatever, then maybe you find something bearish. But chart-wise, it's a bull flag. Everything's set up. Over today's high should get it going to $80. So let's see what happens. And if you guys seen the PFE reaction to their pill today, obviously the day was whatever. But when they actually got the approval on the news, this is what happened. And hopefully we get a move like this on MRK and we sell when the IVs increased. We'll get a lot of money for those if we get the pill approval and the spike like Pfizer today. So now it's even better because we know what to expect, right? So Pfizer went up for 15 minutes straight and then it just kind of rolled over into the end of the day. So Merck, just remember that when the Merck news comes. Walmart, we did jump in some calls yesterday. So we already made money on this Walmart. Other than that, the third, we needed a 140 close any day, today or tomorrow. If we close over 140, I think this one absolutely rips to 150. The first reason is it put in a low, now it put in a higher low. Now we got to put in a higher high. So over 140, 650 would be a higher high. And the next resistance up is 152. So that's technically it's set up beautifully. The second reason is Walmart is actually red on the year with SPY up 30% for the year. Like this is SPY from January. This is SPY where we started in January around 363. We're trading at 467. So SPY as an index is up 100 points. A lot of individual stocks are up. Apple, Microsoft, Google, blah, blah, blah. Those are staples. My thinking is why isn't Walmart green for the whole year? When SPX is up 30%, I mean, Walmart's been consolidating for a whole year, and when this move does come, it's going to be very, very explosive in my opinion. I know Walmart moves slow or whatever, it's a boring company, but when we get that move over 152, this one's going to be crazy, because 1 year red, the whole year to date is red. That doesn't make sense to me. So CRM, we jumped in this one end of day. Why did I jump in? The daily is still under the 8-day, but if we reclaim the 8-day, this is a straight shot to 266 even. 260 and then 266. Also, the daily has a 200-day moving average at 252, so we're right on top of that. The weekly has a 50-day moving average at 248.64, so we're just on top of that. It's all written here anyways. I posted in the charts because Ricky asked me nicely. Other than that, I mean, it's set up. If market continues, I think CRM has a big move ahead of it. Even if you look at the other kinds of other charts here. 1 hour is just kind of flagging out here. Let's see if we get a move, and let's see where this one goes. If the market gaps up tomorrow, I think CRM will gap up as well. SE consolidated much better than usual. So usually after it makes a big move, it has a big red day and then reverses, right? So it had a big green day here, second day here, and then just reversed hard. So this time, today, we didn't even give back half of yesterday's move. So yesterday we went from 210 to 230 almost, and today we only pulled back 219. So we didn't even give back half the move from yesterday, from the low of today, and we closed around 222. Watch this SE. It's not done yet, I don't think. It was just a 1 day kind of getting people out of their calls, kind of getting people not too bullish for longer out calls. RSI is just now came back into the normal zone. It was oversold this whole time. And if SE wants to continue, this one's due for an explosive move. I'm watching this one closely. I do want January calls if we get another day of strength here. Dawkin, we took the $90 calls for Jan yesterday. Why did I take them? We had this 3-day strong move. We had an 11% day. Today we're down 2%, guys. So if you're worried about January 21st, $90 calls after a 2% down day, I don't know what to tell you. We closed above the 8-day moving average, which is perfect. It's one of the few stocks that I'm seeing, one of the few growth stocks that I'm seeing that actually closed above the 8-day today. And I expect this one to continue. If this is the bottom, there's a big move to come on Dawkin. If this is the bottom on SE, this is a big move to come on SE. So SE is one of those examples. The 8 days at 225, we closed below there. Another one is T's SQ, closed below there. Another one is Twitter that closed below the 8-day. 8-day moving average at 43.95. We closed at 43.90 today. So Twitter closed below there. One you have to watch for relative strength after I just pointed out all those stocks is Snapchat. Snapchat actually closed above the 8-day moving average as well. So I think if we do rally, if we do continue, these ones that closed above the 8-day moving average are going to show extreme strength. More strength than the others may be possible, but right now, just for what Snapchat closed at, I think it's stronger than Twitter. Amazon, nice close. 34.20 is what Ricky wanted. I want to see a close above this trend line here. So we have this very clear support trend line on this head and shoulders type of pattern for Amazon, which is what I've been watching. So we have the shoulder, we have the head, and we have another shoulder, and then we had a breakdown, but they held it up here. So they held it at this last volume shelf here. As you see, it just kept bouncing off there. Today we went up, we rejected right off that trend line, and we closed just below it. If we close above that trend line, I think Amazon has a multi-week run ahead of it. Other than that, congrats that who played it this morning. Airbnb, absolute ripper. We still got those 200 calls for Jan. Let's see where this one can go. Nice bounce off the bottom, closed above the 8-day. The next resistance is 172. And then after that is 178. So there's a lot of room for Airbnb. Obviously, Omicron's getting less and less headlines as the days go by. We got a COVID pill now. Reopening should start taking off. All of them are already taking off, actually. CCL is up from like $17 to $21.50 in 4 days. That's crazy. That company is trash. Boeing is up 3 days in a row. NCLH is another one. Delta Airlines, another one. So you guys just see all these airlines, cruise lines, reopening plays. They're all firing off now that Omicron's not as serious as they thought it was. Snapchat, we already went over. One to watch just in case the market does roll over is the snow. Obviously, we had this big bear flag here. I think Bookie pointed it out to me first. We had a bear flag breakdown. In 1 day, we went down 10%. Now we're kind of bouncing back up. We're almost retesting that trend line. If we retest and fail this trend line right here, on this bear flag, I think snow can roll over and make new lows. So keep an eye on this one if the market turns weak for some weird reason. MasterCard here. Still in the broader wedge. The bigger picture on MasterCard, this is a very tough trade. Obviously, it looks strong. Yesterday it was up 4%. Today is up another 2%. I have a support here at 360. It's probably a weekly level. I have a support at 360 on MasterCard. Yeah, it looks like it's rejected, and it used to be resistance, turned into support, and now we're just going back to it from below. If they reject 360 on MasterCard, this one can roll over as well. And market weakness, remember that, this is a strong name. So 360 on MasterCard, and you guys see I have a resistance / support on Visa as well at 220. Previous resistance turned into support here, and now we're approaching it back from the downside. Visa actually looks good. If the market continues strong, I would not short these names. Obviously, everyone knows about Visa. Everyone knows about MasterCard. This looks like an inverse head and shoulders here. But if we do reject off 220 on Visa, we should pull back. If we do reject off 360 on MasterCard, we should pull back. And most of it just depends on the market. Does the market continue and go make all-time highs, or does the market reject? Remember last time we made all-time highs, guys? SPY dumped that day. We made an all-time high at 471. We closed that same day down 7 points. So just be aware. If the market rips to all-time high, keeps going, I would not touch Visa, MasterCard short at all. But if SPY cannot get back to all-time highs, then start looking for these shorts. Visa's set up, MasterCard's set up. Even Amazon, if the market turns, Amazon can get destroyed here. So make sure you're watching the indexes. Make sure you're watching individual stocks. Make sure you keep an open mind. If the market does reject all-time highs and turn over, are you guys ready? So just have those plays ready. Amazon would be probably my number one play. If the market rolled over, I would take Amazon puts right away. So thank you guys for attending. I hope you guys had a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.